Hello gamers, Mage Hammer here. Welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Games Game Table, where tonight on the channel I am presenting my continuing series featuring my Delves and Dangers Definitive Edition Home Brew Fantasy Rules Light role-playing game. This is a story called the Deathstone, and a small village called True Hollow outside of the city of Northgate has experienced a rash of undead attacks, and the elders believe that it is the resurrection of the Deathstone, which happened about a century ago, and a group of adventurers went to shut it down, but came back undead. But from that point on, no other undead have disturbed the village until now. So the elders fear that something or someone has awakened the Deathstone, or some kind of cycle has begun, or something, and they've sent the village's resident adventurers, a bunch of young people, to go find out exactly what is going on in the crypts below. When they went to the graveyard to enter the crypts, they were attacked by undead. They managed to take a rest, head back to the mausoleum down into the crypts below, and have encountered many undead there as well. But at the end of last episode, they discovered an altar that had relatively fresh blood on it. And the druid Kendall says, that blood is relatively fresh. If no one's been down here in a century, I don't think that's the case. And then Per, the Fellcat cleric, says, you know what? It looks like some of that iconography is, oh no, I fear that it might be the unholy symbol of the god of undead, Draven. Oh, death and undeath, Draven. Oh, well, that's not good. No. So someone, a worshipper of Draven, perhaps, is sacrificing people down here? To what end? And Barry says, maybe that's how they activated the Deathstone. And a moment of silence falls over the group. The group is, by the way, Beefcake. He is a human fighter wielding a great axe. You have Per Sharpclaw, Fellcat Cleric of Silvatar. Kendall Brownleaf is a Harefoot Druid. Excuse me. And their de facto leader is the Harefoot Wizard, Barry Goodhollow. And they are now trying to figure out what to do. So they're in this room here, and there's a double door they need to go through. They have another double door down here at the entrance that they need to go through and check out. They went this way. They didn't find anything. There were a couple doors, and they led to dead ends. And then this way, they have not yet explored. So they're waiting to see what is this direction. And so they figure, since the altar is here, that their quarry lies beyond, or the Deathstone lies beyond. All right, so this is coming to an end place. All right, so that does not look like a crypt, so I will discard that card and draw another. Yeah. Yeah, no. No. Deck of many dungeons. Yeah, okay, this will work. Okay, so. All right. Let me go through the doors, says Beefcake. He goes through the doors, rubble-strewn hallway, and double doors. They all unite outside the double doors here. And then they go and open the doors, and there's nothing in the room. And then they open the doors, and there's these treasure chests are actually sarcophagi for this campaign I'm running. So there are statues on either side of a sarcophagus, and there do not appear to be any other doors out. Beefcake's like, you know I have to check. All right, but be careful. Per's like, please do not desecrate it any more than you have to. Yes, I understand. So Beefcake goes in. He has to make a strength test. This sarcophagus is kind of heavy, so I'm going to give him he needs 4 successes. Oh, and I'm going to give him an extra one because he's a fighter. Ooh. Okay, so he has exploding die and exploding die. So he moves swivels the top of the sarcophagus, stone sarcophagus, and inside is a woman, the remains of a woman, of course, dead for a long time. and she has on some jewelry and some tatters in clothing, but that's it. That must have been someone important, he says. And she has 2 guardian statues, but that's it. Very good. Well, let us continue and try to find our way to, and then as that is being said, the statues come to life. So, and they attack. The interlopers. Oh my goodness, she must have been important enough to have guardians. Yes, guardians, not good. So they are all standing in the doorway, and the double doors, and they are outside except for Beefcake, who is in the middle of the room roughly, and the rest are out in the hall here. And the statues that are on either side of the sarcophagus, yeah, there's a sarcophagus. Oh wait, I think I have a sarcophagus piece. No, I think I do. There we go. Sure, that's good enough. Sarcophagus. They're on either side of the sarcophagus, and they start moving towards him. All right, so it is initiative. So the statues are bound to defend the resting place of their mistress, I suppose. All right, so we're gonna roll initiative. In this game, if this is your first exposure to Delves and Dangers, they roll an agility test. That has to be a DL2. They need to roll 2 successes to go before the enemy. If they roll less than 2, they go after. And Harefoots get to re-roll a failed roll. So Kendall's going before. Beefcake has an exploding die, and so gets to go before. Ooh, Barry gets to re-roll a failed die and is going after. And then Purr is going after. So it's pretty split down the road, 50-50 there. All right, so Kendall's like, get out of there, big guy. We'll just slam the doors. No need to fight those things. Yes, I think you're right. So he is going to run out the door and slam it, because there really is no need to fight them. Let's see. I think I have them under animated ensorcelled statue. There we go. Yes. All right. So he goes out the door and they slam the door. And then Kendall said, let's go. So they head back down the hallway, or through the rooms, down the hallway, through the room where they had to fight some skeletons, and then they go back to the main area here. All right, and the statues are pounding on the door, and then eventually the pounding stops as they've made their way down the hallway. So that really would have depended on how initiative went. So now they stand before another set of double doors right here, and they open it, and let's see what they can see. All right, so this would end the level. So I'm going to pull out a king card. Good, that looks like it belongs in a crypt. And there are stairs down. Now, there's no monster indicated here, but sometimes on these final areas like this that lead to the way down, I like to roll to see if there is a possibility of undead or of a monster, an encounter. So I'm going to roll, I'm not, I'll say 50% chance. So 1, 2, 3, there's an encounter. 4, 5, 6, there is not. There is no encounter in here. So they go to the stairs. By the way, Barry has cast light. It's a minor magic. Doesn't need to make a roll. Cast light on her headband. And so that has light for those that cannot see, which is Beefcake and Barry and Kendall. But Purr has dark vision. So they head down the stairs, and they're going to a new place. Second level of the crypts. And the elders, they believe, have informed them that as far as the elders know, there are only 2 levels to the crypts. So, oh my gosh, lots of doors. All right. So they come down the stairs, and they're standing in the room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After a discussion, they're going to decide which one to go down. Looks like the one to the right, because that's the last one they went down last time. So they open the door, and there is a door ahead. So they open it, and in this room are 2 sarcophagi and a pool of water at the top, and there's a small fountain still running. Running after a century. That's amazing. I wonder. And so Barry casts the all minor magics, one of which is magic sense magic, and she casts it, and she sees that the pool is indeed magical, has like a purifying magic on it, and it consistently keeps it flowing. So sarcophagi, Deathstone. Here's my theory, says Per on the Deathstone. I think someone has awakened it, and if we don't see them, they are not. This is not worth exploring. If we find, I think someone has the Deathstone and has activated it and is using it. So let's keep our eyes peeled for someone. So they go to the next door. Just go counterclockwise. And we'll see what's on that end. A long hallway. All right. So they go walking down. The dead are in the walls on either side, and some are empty. And that's because they hear down the hall. They hear down the hall. We're going to say they're coming around the corner here. This corner here. And down at the end of the hall, they see... I guess I'll have to do this. Oh, no, let's do this. All right. I don't have many blank tiles as I thought. All right, so we'll just say that, yeah, it turns this way and that way. There we go. So they're coming down the hall, and coming around the corner are, let's roll for which kind of undead, skeletons. Lots of skeletons. I guess that makes sense. Some of these crypts have been there for a very long time. Now, these skeletons, however, are the risen... They were maybe skeletons of warriors that were buried here, who were buried with their weapons and armor. And so they are armed and have the regular statistics of skeletons. Oh no, more skeletons. And so we shall roll initiative. Beefcake before the skeletons. Kendall, failed roll, so Kendall goes before. Barry's got 2 successes, so Barry goes before, and Per goes before. So they all go before the skeleton, so that's fun. All right, so it's just out of reach of a move and an attack, so they're going to take sprint action. Beefcake heads up there, gets ready to fight, so does Per. So that's their movements. Getting ready. So then Kendall knows that there's barely anything he can do with the weapons that he has against skeletons. They're not very effective, so he's got his healing stone ready to go. So he's going to move up a little bit, and if somebody falls, he'll go up and help them out. Barry's going to move her movement, and she's going to fire a magic bolt at the guy in the back here. And she gets 5 successes. Look at that, 5 threes. I wonder what the odds of that are. Holy moly. So 5 threes, that's 5 successes. They have an agility resistance of 2, skeletons do. So that is going to be 3 damage to that skeleton. Okay, so that skeleton, that's 3 damage. All right, let's go like that, and like that. And this one's a 3. Okay, good. That's Barry. and that's Kendall. So now the skeletons attack. So they come up with their rusty weapons, and they attack. Each one on, and these try to crowd in here. And so we're going to go, they have 4 dice. So gray dice on Beefcake, bone dice on Purr. Beefcake is missed with 2 because his armor is 2, so it doesn't do any damage. However, Purr's at 2, but 3. So Purr takes 1 point of damage because his armor is 2. So, all right. Initiative. See what happens. All right, so Purr goes before. Kendall gets reroll, failed roll. Kendall goes after. Barry's going before. And Beefcake's going before. Yes, I know that that is an exploding die, but since it's DL2, we don't need to roll it, so we just move on. He could roll it if he needed to. All right, so Barry is going to unleash. Now we know that his axe is not that great against skeletons, so that's 3, 6, 7, because he normally has 10. It's at minus 3D with skeletons, and he gets he gets 6 successes and 2 exploding dice, which brings it to 7 successes, minus 2 armor for this guy. That brings it to 4 damage on the guy in front of him, so that's pretty tasty. All right, that's his attack. Barry is going to fire a bolt at the one that she worked on before in the back there. Magic bolt, and she gets to reroll a failed roll. So she gets 5 successes. Agility resistance of 2, so that's 3 more damage, which is enough to fell that skeleton. So that skeleton falls. All right. Then Purr's using a longsword because that's Silvatar's favorite weapon, and he is proficient in that. So, but he also gets +3 for channeling divine energy against undead. So that breaks it down to just 6 dice against his skeletal opponent. Not bad. So it gets an exploding die. All right, so that's 6 successes. Minus 2 is 4 damage on the one in front of him. Okay, so now the skeletons attack. So an attack on Beefcake and an attack on Purr. Beefcake is missed. And Purr, there's an exploding die, so it takes 1 damage. So Purr takes 1 more damage. All right, and that brings us to Kendall. Kendall knows that he saw blood fly, so he goes and touches Purr with this healing stone for 6. So Purr gets some healing, gets some second wind here, thanks to the healing stone of Kendall, and Kendall backs off a little bit. Can move up and back off, all in the same round. Okay, so that brings us to initiative. Let's see if they can take these skeletons down. All right, so Purr's going before, Kendall's going before. Barry gets to reroll a failed roll and is going before. And Beefcake, unfortunately, is going after. So, once again, Barry unleashes on the one fighting... No, the one in the back that's healthy. Magic bolt. Wow, nice. There is an exploding die. All right, so that is 3, 6. Shield resistance 2. That's a solid magical bolt hit against that skeleton. All right. Still up, though. So that's Barry. Kendall's going to hold off. And then Purr is going to attack at 6 dice. He swings his short sword. And that's it. 3. So he gets through 1 damage against the one in front of him. It's still up, still fighting. And then that's it. So the skeletons attack. Once again, the same kind of thing. All right, Beefcake is missed. And, of course, Purr. Oh, my gosh. This is a solid hit. Wow. So for 6 damage. So Purr's armor takes 2 of that, so it takes 4 damage. All right. so that's that. And now Beefcake finally swings at his opponent with 7 dice. Oof. Not the greatest. So 3 successes, but one of those is an exploding die. And boom, 4 successes, 2, 2. That is enough to take it down. So that skeleton is removed from battle. All right, Beefcake steps up. Let's take this guy out. All right. Yeah. So that's it. Initiative. So some folks playing this, like Solo Spelunking, for example, he does cyclical initiative. I have it written into the rules to go re-roll every round. I don't think it slows it down much. It's rules light, but I also think it adds to the tactical nature of it. But if that's just something you don't want to deal with, you can roll initiative once per combat and just go in a cycle. All right, so Kendall is before. Per gets the exploding die and goes before. Unfortunately, Beefcake is after, and Kendall gets to re-roll a failed roll and rolls a success. So Barry goes before. All right, so this place smells like dust and death. All right, so Barry is going to unleash a magic bolt at the one fighting Per and gets to re-roll a failed roll. And that turns into an exploding die and another exploding die. So that is 3, 6. From an agility distance of 2 is 4. That is more than enough to take down Per's enemy. So that skeleton dies, and she moves up. Per moves up on the one fighting her friend, Beefcake. His friend, I think the miniature, I always thought the miniature was female. It's fine calling her. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, so swings sword, channeling divine energy, and only gets 2 successes, and that is not enough to get through that skeleton's armor. Kendall moves up and gets ready to use a healing stone, but does not yet do so yet. And then skeleton attacks Beefcake. Ooh, exploding die. 4 successes and exploding die. So 5 successes. So Beefcake takes 3 damage. Okay. And now Beefcake swings his mighty axe and gets 2 exploding dice. So it gets 5 successes. And that's 2, 3. That is enough to fell that skeleton. So they look around down the hall. Oh my goodness. I'm going to ignore those doors. Those doors don't exist. It's just hallway. And we're going to say that's a dead end. So it goes to the left. And that ends it at a rubble-strewn hall. This actually looks like a good place to have the end of the story. Well, if that's the way to end, I mean, because you got a blood altar and you've got a place where they may have set up shop. All right. So, let's see what happens. So this is a dead end. They see the dead, lining the hallway, burned into the walls. And so they are heading down the hallway to this door. Doing something real quick. Statting up somebody. Could have done it before, but it's more fun to do it on the fly while I'm solo playing. All right, so that is that. No, wait, we're gonna do this. Yep, that's that, and that. Okay, and we'll say that. So that is going to be and there's a lot of those. All right, and then Yes. Wow. That might be a little too powerful. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. That's too powerful. For my group. It's too powerful for my group. Yeah. And there, that's better, I think. Still gonna be, it's gonna be tough. All right, and then that is statting up. It's real fast in Delves and Dangers. You can get an NPC put together here in like less than whatever couple of minutes this is here. Now I'm rolling up stamina for the person. And spells I'll figure out as I go. Oh, sorry, it's a spellcaster. Surprise! All right, so anyway, yeah, cool. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so that's over there, and then okay, so they go to the door. Beefcake opens it, and they look in another bloody altar. Another bloody altar. Yes. Oh, this place is horrible. But the good news is, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not the end. I have an idea. Okay, anyway, so they, no. Yeah, no. Yeah. It's gonna be the end. Maybe. We'll see how it plays out. Don't you love solo playing? I kind of doing stuff random on the fly. It's a lot of fun. As long as I tell my story, I'm happy. Hopefully you're following along. Okay, so they have entered this, they see this room, blood altar, nobody else in there, fresh blood, same kind of iconography of Draven, god of death and undeath, and there's a door down the hall. And let's do Barry. Barry's like, shh, I hear something. So they hear some voices coming. She goes, voices? What? From down the hall, that door. Oh no, we've been loud. I think they probably know we're here. Not unless they weren't listening. Someone talking down here, that's bad, right? Yes, quite bad. Well, maybe they're the ones that are behind all the blood altars. Yeah, perhaps. Let's check it out. Heck yeah. So he goes and he smashes in the door of the room. And we'll say the room, it's going to be a little different than what you see on the card just because I have these dungeon tiles and that just makes it a lot easier. So it's a room filled with sarcophagi, okay? And off to the side is a table. So there's a table on the map, so I think that's fair, right? And we have these stairs up here, but I think what we'll do is, let's see, make sure. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll make so we'll just make them an extension of the room. And we'll say that these are stairways leading up to an upper level. Okay, and so sarcophagi are in this room. And in this room is a man, a human, dressed in a green robe, and he is standing up here and has a staff, and at the top of the staff is a glowing purplish black stone orb that's attached to his staff. And scattered throughout the room are oh boy, some skeletons, some zombies, and So it's 3 skeletons. Let's go 3 skeletons, 3 zombies, and a ghoul. Or we can go, yeah. This is another zombie, and this is a ghoul. Yeah. So a ghoul, 3 zombies, 3 skeletons. And our party has opened the door, and they see the enemy. And they're standing out in the hall. You, who are you? And what are you doing in the crypts under Tired Hollow?
Oh, well, I have come for this wonderful, powerful stone that amplifies my powers and allows me to bring back to life the dead. Isn't it pleasant? Isn't it so pleasant? Look at them. They are living a life of undeath. Oh, and then I'm sending them against your village because I need fresh corpses. I've managed to find some merchants and sacrifice them to awaken the Deathstone. My ancestor was the one that activated it back in the day and was run out of town and maimed by the defenders of this town, and I have come back to exact vengeance now by using the Deathstone to kill everyone in the village, including you. And then after that, once my army of undead is risen, we shall march on Northgate with the power of the Deathstone. It all shall be mine, a city of the dead. Oh my, you are insane. Yes, I am, and it's refreshing. My pets, my army, my soldiers, get them. So we're going to roll initiative. Barry gets to reroll a failed roll, and Barry is going after. Yikes. And then Kendall is before, Beefcake is before, Purr, gosh dang it, Purr is after. Okay, so here we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so Beefcake's like, out of my way. He goes down and attacks this zombie. So he gets to use all 10 of his dice on the zombie. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Swings his great axe, trying to chop that zombie down. And gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes on a zombie. Zombies have 1 armor. So that is 5 damage on the zombie. So the zombies over here, that is that, and there is a third one. Yes. So that is that. And then we have the ghoul, and then we have the skeletons. There are 3 skeletons and 1 ghoul. And then we have the necromancer. I have his stats ready to go. Just have to choose the spells, but I can do that as I go. All right, so that was Beefcake. Next is Kendall. Kendall comes in, puts his back to the wall, and fires a short bow at the necromancer. Now, obviously, the necromancer has mage armor, or magic armor up. And so he put it up before they came because he heard them coming. Well, you know what? No, let's just say he doesn't have it up yet. And so this first attack will be before he gets it up. So that is 5 dice from a short bow from Kendall, the druid, Harefoot druid. Gets to reroll a failed die, which becomes 3 exploding dice. And that renders 2 more successes. So we're looking at 3, 6, 7 successes against the necromancer. And the necromancer currently is not wearing magic armor, or doesn't have magic armor spell up. So that is quite a few points of damage. Ugh! That hurts! And so that brings us to the bad guys. All right, so first of all, the skeletons march towards, this skeleton goes towards Kendall. This skeleton marches on Purr. This zombie moves on Beefcake. This zombie moves on Beefcake. This skeleton kind of moves that direction, but is stuck. And the ghoul attacks Beefcake. Woo, Beefcake's going to get some noise going. All right, so let's do... Zombies have a nasty slam attack. So we're going to do the 2 zombies first on Beefcake. All right, that's great. That's great. Nice. Miss. Second zombie. Not as great. 2 exploding die, 3 exploding die, 4 exploding die. Wow. 4, 7, 9 minus 2 for his chainmail armor is 7 damage to Beefcake. He is hurting. That was a massive punch to the face. It hurts. Blood pouring down his face. Oh, no. All right, so that's trouble. Now, oof. Oh, wait. Another zombie attack, right? That was only 2. Oh, my gosh. Third attack. Oh, my. 2 exploding dice. Another exploding die. Oh, Beefcake is going to go down. Beefcake is down. Man, zombie pummeled him to the ground. So he is on the ground. Oh, no. All right, so the ghoul, that ruins his attack. We'll go to the skeletons. The one on Kendall is the gray. The one on Purr is the bone. Kendall, it gets 2 exploding dice and still misses. Kendall has 1 armor, wearing leather, so it takes 1 point of damage. All right, and then the other one attacks Purr. The other one attacked Purr was 2, and that's not enough. Whew. Barry's like, oh no, Beefcake. But she also recognizes, oh, and he casts, yeah. He's going to cast magic armor. Wow. So that is 3, 6, 8. So he's got an armor of 4. He's got an armor of 4 from magic armor. And it also cancels out magic bolt. So Barry's got to take a risk because Barry has a plan. Doesn't know if the plan's going to work, but it's got to try. So Barry spends, it's got to be within, yeah, wow, okay. So 5, wow, okay. Snuck in, oh man. So Purr's kind of, can get past Purr, but it's going to have to go past these creatures. All right, so, oh man. So Barry's going to come through here and go to, oh man, that is just dangerous. Barry's got to get, he's out of range for the spell that she wants to use. Yes, so she's going to cast invisibility on herself. Yes, so that was, she needs to spend 3 power points and needs to make a DC 3 roll. So fingers crossed. Gets 2 exploding dice, but gets 4 successes, so that's more than enough. We don't have to roll the exploders, and becomes invisible. So I will mark. This token will become Barry for now. Now Barry's going to move to this square here. Oh, no. No. All right, so Barry is there for now. Okay. All right, so getting nervous. All right, so that was Barry's actions. And then Purr is going to attack the skeleton in front of her, for 6 dice. And gets just 2, which is not enough to get through the skeleton's armor shield. And that is not great. So things are looking horrible for the party. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Okay, so we got to go to initiative. All right. 2. Beefcake is down, so we don't have to roll initiative for Beefcake. Purr goes before. That's good. Barry gets to reroll a failed die. Is going before. Kendall gets to reroll a failed die and is not going before. All right, so That is not great. We'll see what happens. All right. So Barry is going to move here and then cast Sleep at this guy. Has just enough power points left. Has to make a just makes a casting roll. Okay. So she has to roll past his mind resistance. She knows this is a risk. But she's hoping that it's going to be enough to put him down. Now, his mind resistance is pretty powerful because he's a wizard, and she knows that, but she feels like she has no other choice. Oh, okay, so not all hope is lost. She gets to re-roll a failed die, and it is a success. Now, if this exploding die roll from here is a success, he is asleep. And that is a success. And it's an exploding success. Yes. So he's like, so he goes to sleep. Barry's like, oh. So that was Barry's. That was absolutely, to quote my brother, huge. Okay, so that is now Purr. Purr swings at this silly, stinking skeleton. All right, finally, that's better. An exploding die. Still, that's 5 successes, so that's going to be 3 damage past the 2 armor. Not enough to completely take it out, but it injured it. It's getting nasty here. All right, now there's the attacks. So these the skeleton notices Barry and goes to attack. The ghoul is like, the ghoul is going to, oh boy. Well, all right, 1, 2, 3, the ghoul starts feasting on Beefcake. 4, 5, 6. Oh, Beefcake. Yeah, Beefcake will have to make a strength resistance roll after this. 1, 2, 3 goes after Purr. 4, 5, 6 starts eating Beefcake. Goes after Purr. So the ghoul's going to move on her and attack. The zombies, 1, 2, 3, they start feasting on Beefcake. 4, 5, 6, they go to attack. They start feasting on Beefcake. So what I'm going to say is he takes a point. I'm going to increase, because they're starting to take chunks out of him, I'm going to increase his death save to 4 instead of 2 that he is going to have to make at the end of this round. And if he wakes up and he has these creatures munching on him, that will be horrifying. We'll see how that plays. All right, so this skeleton's going to attack Barry. And that gets 4 successes. Barry has armor of 2 thanks to her magic armor. So that is spells. So that's 2 damage to Barry. All right. And then a skeleton attack on Purr. Exploding die. Doesn't get through, or gets through armor for 1. We'll do the ghoul last. Skeleton on Kendall. Exploding die. So gets 1 damage on Kendall. Because he has leather armor. And then zombies, they munch, munch, munch. The ghoul. Now, the ghoul, of course, as you know, gets 2 claw attacks and a bite attack. So just like in the world's oldest role-playing game, ghouls have lots of attacks. And that brings us to, okay, so this does not get through Purr's armor, the bite. So that's good. And the claws have 2 exploding dice. So the claws are at 2, 4, 6, 7. -2 is 5 damage to Purr, which is just not enough. Just not enough. Purr is still standing, but barely. And has to make a strength resistance roll or be paralyzed. Ugh, failed. So paralyzed. I'll just set him down so that he's paralyzed. All right, and then that brings us to Kendall. Kendall doesn't have much against the skeleton. So Kendall's just going to bring up his... He's going to swing his spear. You know what? He's going to try the blunt end of his spear. How's that? And I'll take off a die. So I'll say it's 4 dice with the blunt end of his spear. And it still doesn't do any damage. So he misses. Oh, he gets to reroll a failed roll. Yeah, still no. A lot of 2s on that roll, folks. All right, now Beefcake. Beefcake has to make a strength resistance roll. His strength resistance is huge. It's 5. But he has to make a strength resistance roll of 4 or he's dead. Okay, he's got 3 right now, an exploding die. Yes, so he is alive, but we don't know for how much longer. So basically what that means is he's kind of basically unconscious, but I think what I'm going to do is, since he's unconscious and the pain of the bites is, so his eyes fluttered open. So he is going to roll initiative, and he may have a chance to act before these zombies. All right. Per has to go before she does. He does. Gosh dang it. Man, it's driving me nuts. I guess it doesn't matter. Kendall, Barry. Good. They all go before these folks. All right. So, okay. No. Dang it. Per is paralyzed. So Per goes at the end of the round to try to break free of that paralysis. Man. Beefcake stands up, and as he's doing it, he touches the necklace of healing stone he has and activates it to use his final healing stone charge, and in 5. So he is back to 5 stamina. All right, that's all he can do. But maybe he'll survive the attack for the zombies. I'm doubting it. All right, Barry. Kendall's going to stab the ghoul. Let's do Kendall first. Kendall's going to stab that ghoul and gets to reroll a failed roll. So it does 4. The ghoul has 2 armor, I think. No, 1 armor. So it takes 3 damage. That gets his attention. At least it stops him from eating. Per turns around and will be attacking Kendall. Kendall is setting himself up to die. Barry is desperate. Barry has an idea in her head, and she's going to break combat to use it. So she's running away to go up the stairs and heads towards the Deathstone. And the skeleton gets to take a swipe at her because she's escaping combat. Oh, man. 2 exploding dice. Another exploding die. All right, so total of 5 successes. That's 3 damage onto Barry. Not enough to take Barry down, but man, it hurt. And it's going to turn and make... So Barry gets up here and takes her staff and no, she's got a better idea. She is going to grab onto the Deathstone and like fire a magic bolt into the Deathstone and try to disrupt it or destroy it. And we'll see how much she rolls, and I'll determine. Oh, not great. Rerolls a failed roll. 3 damage to the Deathstone. So I'm going to rule for dramatic effect that disrupts the undead for a round, and they kind of freeze. They don't cease to fall, but they glitch for a round. She bought them a round. So this round, the undead do not get to attack. So it cancels that attack. Okay. She has his staff now, though, because he dropped it when he fell asleep. Per gets to make another strength resistance roll to break free of the paralysis. Gets a exploding die. Needed 3, got 2. Not enough. Okay. So now it's initiative. Anybody that acts before the undead in this round, she's automatically after. He's automatically after. Anybody goes after the undead and before it gets to actually get a free attack, and since they are immobile, they get +6 to their attacks. All right. Who wants to go first? So this is what's going to happen. Beefcake is like, yes. So he's got to go. He just plows through that zombie. 5, 10, 15. Jumps up here. and brings his axe down on the Deathstone because he saw what Barry was putting down. He doesn't get +6 to this, but he gets his 10 dice. He's going to try to smash the Deathstone. It's already taken 3 damage. I know how many hit points it has. And he smashes it with his greatsword. Hopefully he gets a solid hit on it. Barry's going to reflexively back up. Okay, so he smashes down on the Deathstone. Oh boy. Well, it's not terrible. Gets 1 exploding die. It becomes a success. So that's 3, 6, 7, plus the 3's already is 10. So the Deathstone shatters under the power of Beefcake's great axe, and the undead fall to the ground, except for the ghoul. And so that was Beefcake. Kendall's like, stabs his spear up into the ghoul. Away from me, you foul abomination. Away from my friend. Gets to reroll a failed roll because he's a harefoot. So that makes it 5 successes. Armor of 1. Oh, man. Down to 1 stamina, that ghoul. Okay. So that was Kendall. Barry, seeing that the ghoul hasn't fallen, fires a magic bolt at the ghoul that's about to hit her cousin and gets a reroll failed die and has 2 exploding dice and gets another exploding die. Oh, okay. So that's 5 successes against ghouls have an agility resistance of 3. That's 2 more damage on the ghoul, but that's enough to slam it against that wall and down dead. The Deathstone has been destroyed. Yes. Yes, let's tie him up. Bring him with us. You really think tying him up's going to solve this problem? Beefcake, that's not the way we are. Tie him up and bring him. Very well, you're the boss. So the team ties him up, takes his spell book, takes away his well, they believe the staff was his magic, his spell focus. They tie him up. Beefcake carries him to until they get becomes unparalyzed, and they heal Per with a couple more magic healing stones things, and they bring him before the elders, and they say, "It was he, this man. He says he was of this. His father was of this village and was run out, or his grandfather was run out of this village a century ago and was responsible for the Deathstone awakening. He has come back to exact vengeance because the adventurers maimed his great-grandfather and brought them here, here. So he is here to stand trial. Yes, we shall put him in an oubliette for now till we decide what to do with him. You have done well, youngsters. You have saved Tired Hollow from a plague of undead. Well done. You have served your village well." So, yes. So, that is the end. The heroes of Tired Hollow have saved their village from a plague of undead and the horrible power of the Deathstone. So, that is the end of this mini little campaign featuring Delves and Dangers Definitive Edition, my own role-playing game. Let me know what you thought of the rules. You can download Delves and Dangers Definitive Edition at itch.io at the link in my description to this video. And if you do, let me know what you think of it. And I think, frankly, I have an idea for another Delves and Dangers campaign. I think that's what I'm going to be doing next. So I hope you enjoyed this spooky little undead-ridden, Halloween-ish, 'tis the season series. And so let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for all your support and watching. Until the next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.